Close your eyes for just a second. Seriously, just listen to the quiet. Imagine a city completely at rest, wrapped in the cool, dark embrace of a 17th century night. No engines, no sirens, just the gentle, kind of haunting creak of timber in the wind. It's a sprawling metropolis, resting completely unaware of the absolute devastation hovering just moments away. Welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving into a deeply dark, mesmerizing chapter of human history, the Great Fire of London. We'll explore how a world brought to its knees literally pulled itself back from the ashes. Let's get right into it.
So what actually happens when a single spark meets a sleeping city? To really wrap our heads around this, we have to set the scene. Picture the narrow, winding, wooden streets of old London. It's the dead of night. The city is tightly packed, like a total labyrinth of timber-framed houses leaning so far over the streets they almost touch at the top. The only light you'd see comes from the soft, flickering glow of candles through thick glass windows. It's quiet, peaceful, with an almost mysterious atmosphere to it. Just a massive city of wood, pitch, and thatch, waiting in the dark.
And then, the nightmare begins, with a terrifyingly simple domino effect. Deep within the sleeping city, in the cramped, dark confines of a small bakery kitchen, it starts. Not with a massive explosion, but slowly. Just a few stray sparks rising in the dark. A small flame catching onto dry fuel. It's a hyper-realistic, almost mundane detail, right? Something that happens literally every single day. But then, a fierce, relentless wind begins to howl through those narrow alleys. It catches that small flame and just accelerates it, whipping it into an absolute frenzy. Suddenly, it's a rapid, uncontrollable spread across those tightly packed wooden houses. The flames are leaping from rooftop to rooftop. What started as a tiny, rising spark in a baker's oven is now this creeping, hungry beast moving rapidly through the timber veins of the city.
Part 1. The City Consumed. A Sky Glowing Orange. Suddenly, that quiet night we talked about, it is completely shattered. People are jolted awake in absolute panic, running out their front doors into smoky streets, literally clutching their children as the air grows thick and choking. The sheer velocity of the destruction turns what should have been a quick burn into a multi-day siege. On night 1, pure panic hits the streets as a massive fire begins consuming entire blocks. The sky over London is glowing this violent, apocalyptic orange. By day 2, the fire reaches the very heart of the city. Historic buildings collapse in terrifying slow motion, churches burn to the ground, and then, the unthinkable happens. The famous St. Paul's Cathedral, a towering monument of faith in stone, is completely surrounded by fire and smoke. It's swallowed whole by the inferno. By day 3, the city is deafening. Explosions are ringing out everywhere. Collapsing wooden houses are sending massive plumes of burning debris falling through the streets like fiery rain. It's a total, systemic collapse.
Part 2. Desperate fight for survival. Fighting the flames. The sheer scale of this disaster forces an incredibly grave and gritty reality onto the people of London. Fear and chaos are everywhere. Crowds are desperately trying to escape, bottlenecking across the city's stone bridges, pushing through this suffocating atmosphere just to find a single pocket of breathable air. I mean, imagine families standing right there in the ash, watching their homes burn. So much of history focuses on the dates and the architecture, but we can't forget the human cost. Try to imagine the deep, profound sadness and the paralyzing fear. Think of the mothers, the fathers, the kids, standing helpless. Their faces illuminated by the destruction of everything they have ever known, everything they've ever owned. They are quite literally watching their entire lives turn into smoke.
But you know, humanity rarely just surrenders. The violent tension of survival kicked in hard. Everyday citizens stood their ground, desperately fighting back a roaring inferno with nothing but leather buckets of water. It is an unbelievable testament to human grit. But it wasn't enough. Authorities had to make a heartbreaking choice. They started intentionally destroying perfectly intact buildings. They literally used gunpowder to blow up the homes of innocent people just to create fire breaks. They were desperately hoping to starve the advancing fire of its fuel. And all of this intense, chaotic action was taking place while navigating a battlefield choked with deafening explosions and falling, burning debris.
Part 3. Rebirth from the Ashes. The Silence of Mourning.
Finally, after days of relentless, roaring destruction, the fire slowly begins to weaken. The flames recede, revealing a sprawling landscape completely covered in a thick shroud of smoke. The immediate aftermath feels exactly like a haunting documentary. There is a heavy, almost suffocating silence over the burned streets and destroyed homes as survivors walk slowly through the thick ashes and ruins. But out of that profound despair comes a quiet, determined hope. Workers, covered head to toe in soot, start clearing the debris. And they aren't just sweeping away the old, they are laying the groundwork for the new. Seeing a sunrise over a rebuilt London, it isn't just a recovery, it's a complete rebirth.
Which brings us to a final, lingering thought. Could such catastrophic destruction actually be the only way to forge an unbreakable city? The Great Fire consumed the medieval wooden heart of London, but in its ashes, a new metropolis of brick, stone, and iron was born, a city designed specifically to withstand the trials of the future. The survival and rebirth of London under that new sunrise stands as one of the most emotional, powerful testaments to human resilience we've ever seen. It reminds us that even when the sky glows orange and all seems lost, the foundation for our greatest triumphs is often built right on the very ashes of our deepest tragedies. Thanks for joining me on this explainer. Keep asking questions, keep exploring, and I'll see you next time.